What is up, guys? This is Green Warrior 291. I'm here with a solo review of Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7, Episode 8. Together again. Hooray! I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little bit exhausted. Anyway, so let's just get to the meat and butter and let's get this review going. Shouldn't be too long anyway. First of all, the episode starts off basically sort of ignoring the last episode in a sense. Basically, they're trapped in a cell. They get sent to be talked to the Pike's leader. The Pike's demands, where the hell are their spies? Ahsoka comes up with a plan that is luck that it even worked. That she basically tells them that send them to get it, or else, and if they don't, I'll just tell you what their families are so you can kill them. Which, I mean, the Pikes don't really know enough about the Rafa and Traces that they're sisters, and that literally they're the only family they got, so it works to a certain degree. The plan is they leave, they escape, she escapes on her own while trying to do some good. Basically blow the fuck up out of the Pike's place. The plan is interesting enough that Rafa has grown into a better character. Granted, she's still the cocky little bitch, considering that she wants to go back just to one-up Ahsoka, but she still wants to go back, while it seems like Trace doesn't want to go back and help her friend. Which makes me think Trace literally has no exact character development. At some point, she's a cool, badass fighter. At some point, she's just a stupid idiot that doesn't even belong. It literally is inconsistent with her character, and it started off good, and now I just feel no sense of care for it. Rafa, on the other hand, was a cold bitch, and she changed from that to a semi-cold bitch with a heart. So she actually has grown somewhat. Eventually, we do see Maul again in the hologram, and I have a feeling he sensed Ahsoka as he turned towards Ahsoka's direction, although I'm unsure how the hologram would see it, but, you know, it's whatever. Ahsoka goes, gets bombs, sets up the explosives, gets herself captured. Although it's funny that the Pike's leader kind of realized that, yeah, Ahsoka's not a normal bandit or normal normie. That she must be a Jedi, which was something he was suspecting but was unsure until she did Force powers. Eventually, he didn't believe her that she was using the other two, or well, that the other two don't know, basically the sisters. And when he found out that was true, he basically just was more pity towards the sisters than anything else. Rafa and Trace's part before they returned with the spice that they stole, it was interesting how they managed to get the spice, although the interaction with the giant manager was funny. And then the little critters all like, yeah, kill her. Yeah, they all deserve to get their heads bashed with the pipe. But it was a good action scene. I'll give it that. Like, you want to know something? It wasn't as easy as, Rafa and Trace easily managed to beat everyone. Well, maybe Trace, but then again, against the little ones, they don't seem to be fighting capable. They don't have the fighting capabilities, really, against a pipe, so I'll give it that. But Rafa was having actual struggles. She had to actually try to outmaneuver the manager, basically. We'll just call this one the manager, since that's how he was known. And it was not much of she overpowered him within strength, because that would not have been believable, and that actually would have been BS. She was more calculative in a sense. I mean, she did try to use physical damage. She did some damage, but it wasn't enough. It was until she just caused the entire an entire platform to fall, and him falling to his death, basically. So that's how Rafa beat the manager. And honestly, I can buy that. I can honestly buy that. It's better than her managing to just knock him out. That would not have worked, and that would have just been BS. But hey, you see, this is Disney. This is how you do it. This is how you do actual things that make sense. Not that BS with Rey, because I will never forgive Rey in the entire trilogy, considering that she's a Mary Sue. That's a whole topic of discussion. Back to the whole point, they find out that Ahsoka is, a Jedi, and I love this. First, they're like, "Well, why didn't you tell us?" And it's like, "I was a Jedi. I left." And they both at the same time are like, "Wait, you can do that?" And that actually got me to chuckle a bit. And then another fight scene breaks out, which was pretty cool. I'll give it that. Now, they have the right to be mad, but in all honesty, Rafa is the most understanding one rather than Trace at some point, and that kind of caught my attention. Because it's like, Trace is supposed to be the more caring one out of the two, not Rafa. And that was really interesting. But as I said, Trace is basically bipolar, I guess. Because at one point she's smart and collective, and another she's stupid and very kid angrily. I don't know. I just really didn't care about her character anymore. Eventually, we do see that the Mandalorians eventually like follow Ahsoka and the crew and the sisters back towards Coruscant. They arrive, and then as they're all like getting together, like, oh, we're all friends and all. Not the bounty hunters. They are bounty hunters, but the Mandalorians all arrive and are like, hey, Ahsoka, we need your help. We need to defeat Maul. Because as during Ahsoka's time being free before getting captured again, she figured out that Maul was was communicating with the Pikes from Mandalore, which caught her attention. And eventually from there, it is setting up the Siege of Mandalore arc. Now, what do I think of this episode? It was better in the sense that it just had a bit more character development for Rafa, at least. They still kept that up. They didn't just throw that out the window. But it just felt like filler. Like, this entire arc just felt like a massive filler. And it was just, here's your little... it's like if you go to this fancy restaurant. They give you, like, here's a soup, like Olive Garden. They give you, here's your little soup or salad, whatever the hell you choose. Here's the appetizer. Let's go with that. And then the appetizer is this entire arc. And then we go to the main course, which is the Siege of Mandalore. So this entire arc could have been better if the two sisters were... First, if Trace was consistent with her character arc. Rafa was fine. I'll give her that. If the stakes were a bit more interesting, say that the Mandalorians and Ahsoka or all of them had to team up against like a large syndicate at first, because the Mandalorians don't trust Ahsoka, and obviously Ahsoka wouldn't trust them, and they had to kind of force each other to get the trust they need, and then eventually Ahsoka will gain to their cause. Sort of build up a connection rather than throw it in, but I mean, what can I say? There's not much to do at this point. It's the end of the Ahsoka arc, and by Ahsoka arc, I mean post leaving the Order arc. Compare this arc to the Bad Batch arc. The Bad Batch, at the very least, had stakes with Echo, Rex, strong character development, Anakin and Obi-Wan having a lot of strong character motives. Like, there was a lot to go with, but it is what it is. What do I give this episode? As I said, 8.5 out of 10. It wasn't that bad, but it wasn't like super good enough to be like in the amazing standards, which is 9 or 10. But hey, whatever you guys pick. Anyway, this is Green Lord with the short review. I hope to see y'all next week. Later.